Hello, fiends, folks, family, and insignificant others. I'm Goemon, and I'm horrified. It's Halloween again. Hooray. Oh, who am I kidding? I hate Halloween. Ugly little brats come around begging for food in the neighborhood. And all I wish to do is throw rotten apples at their heads and yell at their parents, who are mostly standing just about 2.5 meters away, to get their kids inside and get them to study, instead of running around the neighborhood dressed up like little morons and begging for sweets. Well, I do understand why dentists really love this kind of season, because all these sweet and sugar-loving brats really give their wallet a healthy workout during this time of the year. However, I'm not a dentist, and I hate kids, and I hate Halloween. Nevertheless, I do have a Halloween story for you. Yes! A real genuine Halloween story with real ugliness and fright and blood and all these kinds of things. So as you will undoubtedly remember, I do have mice in the house. I do have 5 little pet mice. Well, there were more at some point, at another point there were less. Anyways, same time last year, I did have 3 pet mice in the house. And also 1 mouse from outside, who snuck into the house because one of my housemates was too freaking stupid to close the door behind her. I don't want to mention any names, but it starts and ends with E, with kind of V shape in between. Now, having 4 mice in the house is not all that big of an issue as long as they don't bite you. Problem is, all of my pet mice are female. And as we came to realize through hard evidence later, the intruder was male. Now, how did we become aware of that knowledge, you ask? And point at me with your bare fingers because your mom didn't teach you any manners. Humph. So at some point we did recognize that Mittens was just a little bit chubbier than we were used to, and we could no longer attribute her immense volume alone to her love of food and lack of exercise. So clearly, she was pregnant. And one day, as I was clearing out their sleeping bubble, I found a little pink object. And as it turned out, it was, in fact, a little pink hand with a radius and a partial ulna reaching out of it. So there we had the hand and partial underarm of a young mouse. Which in itself was disturbing enough, but alas, it did not end there. After this horrifying find, I searched through the entire sleep bubble and all the mist that they had accumulated there. I'm happy to report I didn't find anything else disturbing in there. However, I did recognize that Mittens was dragging her weight along on the table. Clearly she had some issues walking around, let alone running or exercising, which was clearly attributed to the thing that reached out of her abdomen, which obviously was yet another complete or partial young-born mouse. So obviously Mittens did not have any mom experience, neither did she show any interest in getting any, because she was just slowly pressing this lump of mouse out of her vagina. And that's not even the worst of it. A little bit later I recognized that Elsie was hiding around wherever she could on the table, munching little bits. And when I pressed upon her to explain that issue, she showed me her blood-smeared face, ran up to Mittens, dragged and nagged a piece of the big lump that came out of Mittens' abdomen, hid away, and munched that huge piece of flesh. Or to explain in more biological terms, Mittens gave birth to at least 1 little mouse, and Elsie was not at all shy about compartmentalizing that young-born mouse and ingesting it. Now that was a real Halloween. Good night, good health, and may the stillborn mice be with you.